out at this phenomenal house in Forest Grove. And I get to hang out today with one of my really good friends and lending partners that I love, Robert Groves. And actually he's from the Grove too. So he lives out here. And we're going to talk a little bit about what makes Forest Grove kind of a really kind of cool place to go and to be. What are some of your favorite places in Forest Grove?
Well, I have to admit, now that Forest Grove is gotten a lot more restaurants and beer places. One of my favorite places I like to go is if you just want to have a beer and a drink. There's Walt's Brewing, so on 19th, and they have like all kinds of craft beers in there, and some are made by the Ridgewalker guys, and then also too Ridgewalker. Ridgewalker is a great place, and the guys that own that are hilarious. They've been lately putting out these. They've gotten a little contract with the Gross and Peaches and the Helvetia cider stuff. They're bringing that in, and these guys, they dress up like in their knights, or they dress up like in costumes, and you pull right up and fill a growler, and they've got all kinds. So they were doing it in mason jars and stuff. I mean, the town really supports itself here, and that's what's nice. It's a nice small town, college town. It's quiet, and if you have to get some major things, Hillsboro's not too far away. So Forest Grove's a nice place. That's why I live here. It's quiet, and the people are really friendly. And we have some cool places now. There's Ridgewalker, and we got a lot of new restaurants in. When we can they'll do pickups now, so you don't have to worry about the COVID. You can just come and still get some food.
Absolutely. So, I have different ones I love. I love Heights. Yes. I can never pronounce it right, but the Hawaiian food restaurant is phenomenal. I love them. And they actually have a food cart too. So they go out, I think they go to Sunrise Church or something like that. Don't quote me on that. And it is, you're right, Pacific University. It's the home here in Forest Grove. It's been here for, I think, over 100 years. And so it's not a sleepy town, but it's quiet. It's got great amenities, like you said. Like they have really good restaurants. There's a new one, a guy and gal I went to high school with own, called Belladonna's, and that looks super fattening and amazing and really, really good. And I don't know, they have so many cool things here, and they have a great community. Like you said, they're very, very community oriented. People like to help each other out. They have a phenomenal police. They have phenomenal firefighting, and just all of those things are really kind of make this place very special. I mean, I grew up in Banks, and so we always went into Forest Grove, right? And it's a great way, great place to live. I actually really like it out here. It's very nice. It's so close to the country and wineries. You forgot about that.
Sake. I did. That's one of my favorite things. Right? Sake.
Yeah. So we have all the things are covered. Great food, great drinks, great entertainment. We have, they also have their farmers market, right?
They do have it in the summertime. It's always Wednesdays from 4 to 8.
Right. And so there you can find more good food and organic farm, fresh supplies for you. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to take us for a walk to see this amazing house while we're here. Let me see if I can flip just a second. Okay. And we're going to start from the outside walking in. Let's see. I will.
As you're walking, I really like this house. It's a 1900 Deek. Is it Nicholson Deek? Is that what it's called? There was a building in 1900s, Dutch colonial.
Yes, Dutch colonial. I mean, this is like, okay, so we're going to turn this around. Here's my beautiful sign. Love it. And then we're going to walk up the stairs to this gorgeous home. It just has so much.
It's a really cool house.
Yeah, it's got so much charm. You have a huge front area here so you're not like right on the road. And just little things that are really to that time period, like the porch. right? You can sit out here in the summer and see your neighbors. Just say hi to everyone. We're going to walk in. Beautiful floors, beautiful entry. I don't know if you saw the door. Beautiful red with that flower. Walk in. Just, this isn't it such an inviting space to hang out. That's actually a gas fireplace, so that's kind of cool. Dining area, it's gorgeous. They've updated and put in some really cool things. Right here off this, you have like a bedroom. So perfect for if you have guests to come stay, or if you need to have, you know, parents or kids come back from college. This is a great place for them to come. Love these details. Look at these handles.
Mm-hmm. Glass doorknobs. I love those.
Oh my gosh. Just, and the doors are amazing. They're just gorgeous. Just little things. Okay, so because they're dog people, they have little pups, right? They made this little door so the pups can't get past it. So super cute. And I know Oregon people are just dog people. And so I love the fact that they're dog people, because I am too. And this is the kitchen. Beautiful granite. Gas stove. Another area for eating. Breakfast nook is what they call that. Built-ins over here, so like a large pantry area. And then right off that, we have one of the first bathrooms. So this is the main floor bathroom. And look at, like I said, just old little things that are character for that time period. It is a historic home. It's on the historic registry. So, you know, we have the clawfoot tub for you to relax.
Nice.
Isn't that cool? Yeah. So,
mm-hmm.
Perfect for that. And of course, they have it decorated amazingly. This is the utility room, and the pups live here. They're here quite often. They're so cute. You can go to the pictures. I think we have one in there with their dogs in it. And there's one, he's got like the snaggle teeth. He's just so cute. And then this is like the downstairs, I call it the great room, right? You can do anything with this room you want. Huge space for family to watch TV, game room. Just, it's so, they have a larger family that comes over and visits. They did during this time. And so this is a great place where they all can kind of gather and chat and hang out and play games. Just, I love the little details that keep it an old house, but it's got such great ability. There we go. Lights on. For it's all modernized. So you don't have to worry about, I have to redo all the electricity. No, you don't. It's done. It's all modernized. Now we're going to go upstairs. Gorgeous. I'm going to do this without trying to kill myself because my little legs are sticking out. So, there we go. Wood floors are just gorgeous wood floors. This room is so cute. It's got built in.
Oh, those are cool.
Remember that?
Yeah. Now is that shiplap back there or something? It looks cool.
Yes,
inside the building.
like original. So
Joanna Gaines would love that.
Look at that. For your kids.
Yeah, that's cool, Darcy.
If you had like grandkids come, or you know, you have a teenager, this is a perfect room for that kind of stuff. And then we have this other bedroom. Super bright and cheery. Gorgeous. They box, so of course
Yeah.
But look, I mean, the doors, it's a great place for someone to relax, or it's a great bedroom. I love it. I love that color. Hallway, little closets here and there. And this is a great little nook area, I call it. Place you can kind of relax, like a reading nook. But look, it's got like a built-in place for all the books. They're like me, a million books. Where do you put them all? So they're all there. And then again, there's like cabinets, everywhere cabinets. And this bathroom is phenomenal.
You don't see a lot of that cabinet stuff in the newer homes. They don't. The storage is pretty limited. These older homes, they did it right back then. You know, they give you plenty of cabinets and places to put things.
Right. Yeah, another cabinet. This door is natural, like, so I think it's original. Bathroom, but just a cool setup. Double sinks.
We got the double sinks. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is like the master, or what they made the master. So you have some options here. It's a large room. Very quiet on this side because there's nothing behind you, but let's look out the window.
Nice. They got the AC unit in there. Good.
Yeah. Actually, it doesn't get that hot back in here because it's so shaded. So they have a beautiful view of their backyard. Let's see if I can get that. There we go. Yeah. So beautiful mature trees, or landscaping is phenomenal. Uh-oh. Oopsies. Okay.
Dangerous with the blinds. Uh-oh.
Dangerous with the blinds. So anyway, we'll work on that. Get that fixed.
Oh, no, can you go from one room? I just noticed something. Did you kind of come from the master through a different door into that secondary room with the bunk beds?
Yes. So, you know, if you were
okay.
like, if you had a newer baby,
yeah,
or like, you know, you wanted to be able to check on them, this would be a great space for that, because yeah, you can close their door from the hall and you can close it from your door too. You're the master. So they are separate rooms.
yeah.
But like if you wanted to keep your baby nearby, you know, your toddler, this is a great space for that.
That's cool. That's the one I know. I thought I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, or grandkids. Like, you know, if you have grandkids over, yeah, everybody wants to have everybody nearby. Or, you know, if you want space by yourself, you can stay there. Pretend you're
So was that bathroom with the double sinks, was that the bathroom that was meant for the master and just everybody upstairs? Is that how that was set up?
Yeah. And then everybody else can decide if they want to use the one downstairs, or they can use that one. It just depends on how you want to set it up for your family or your living situation. So while we're here, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the market right now. People are concerned, right? So in this house, they were like, you know, there's a question of, are there showings? How do you do a Rona, you know, house sale? And so I wanted to talk a little bit about safety first, right? So this house, I know them very well. I come in, I have my shoes off. I have gloves available. We have wipes available. We have hand sanitizer available for everyone. And we always ask that. We have like a checklist on the RLMS of like how to see this house in real life. And doing this kind of thing where we're having an open house virtually, we can answer the questions and people can see if it's a really good fit for them or not. So that's kind of how I have done it for the Rona virus. But to be honest, like actually me and Robert have been doing it this way forever. So in my even when I first began my real estate career, I had a lot of clients who were out of state. So I did a lot of videos. We didn't have FaceTime then. So I literally would have to go through, video everything, and then email it to them. which was like, it took forever to download and, answer those questions. And then they would come out to either see more houses or they would come to the inspection or something like that. And recently, I've been asked multiple times, and you probably know about this too, like, do people ever buy houses sight unseen? And the answer is
yes, they have.
All the time.
I've had clients myself that bought a home sight unseen.
Yeah.
They had the job relocation. They were coming to Portland. The market was kind of tight. They found this house and kind of they only saw some pictures of it online and things like that. But they fell in love with it and bought it over near St. Vincent. They loved the house.
Oh, that's
They
awesome.
bought it sight unseen. They're from the Bay Area and they came up here. Good friends of mine. There you go. Oh, hello. Maybe Lee will have to bring you back. It looks like it's just me speaking. I think we lost Darcy. I'll let our producer know. Yeah. Darcy. Well, I guess anyway, until Darcy comes back. Yes, she's right. I think she's coming back online.
I went to go push the chat and I lost it. Sorry. Technical difficulties today. But
I said our producer was working on it.
It's our first time. Yeah. My lovely assistant, Lee, has been taking care of it. So that was awesome. Sorry about that. How about you talk a little bit about what is the market doing rate wise? Like, how is that happening? Is business still happening right now?
Yes, it is. I'm finally glad because we had some weird stuff happening around the 1st of March. So the rates were starting to come down a little bit and the stock market dropped. And usually when the stock market drops, the interest rates drop. In this situation, they didn't. The big Wall Street guys decided, hey, we're going to hold on to our cash and not buy mortgage-backed securities right now. And so the government had to step in. The government lowered their Fed rate, but they kept buying stuff. They kind of overdid it. Now then things are kind of coming back into play. The problem we were having was that the lenders couldn't sell their servicing because no one was buying them. So they still wanted to make their same money. So the rates kind of went up. So they weren't really that favorable. And on top of that, just before that happened, we were entering a big refi boom. So the lenders were slammed. So they raised their rates to kind of slow down, new loans coming in. And they went to go kind of put it back. That's when all these other things happened. But if we fast forward to now, the lenders are they're adding some overlays at first. Like they're kind of picky about, for right now, the jumbo loans, the home renovation loans, the construction loans, things like that are kind of put on hiatus. Cash out refinances right now. You're going to pull money out of the house. They've been kind of put on a temporary hold just until we get through this coronavirus. But on the flip side, home buying, wonderful. Perfect time to buy a house. The rates, I priced one out today for some people, and you get a nice, if you have good credit score, conventional loan, north of 740 credit, you can get a 3.5% interest rate, no points. And with my company, no underwriting fees or anything either. So 3.5% that's great. I mean, I know some people want a little bit lower than that, but that's a really good time, especially with this house. It gets the payment kind of in line. You can get this house for a nice payment. So yeah, we're still busy. Refinance and stuff. I'm still busy in the purchase market too. People are still buying. In my own neighborhood alone, there's several homes up for sale now, and they've had people, they're closing, they're pending. So yeah, I think it's still busy, still business as usual. The rates are good and everything. So
my question that goes along with that is, so when we were chatting about how people are what they first do. So like what their first steps should be is to talk to a lender to see where they are. Mm-hmm. My question too was, hey, so the rates we have today, are they lower or higher than it was the same time last year?
They're better. They're lower. Yeah, we were in the
I thought fourth, so. Yeah. They used to be, I was like, this is way better than it was. So, all those people at home, have started, their kids have been home. this time, and they're working from home, and maybe their house doesn't work for them anymore. So, now is a great time to kind of update that, upgrade that situation. Happy to answer questions about that, myself or Robert, about how to make those next steps, what to look for. Anything that you can give as a tip if people are starting that process of thinking of buying a house right now. What are some, like, your top 3 tips? I know you have your 10 commandments, or right, things you
the do's and don'ts.
Yes, the rule list, I call it.
Well, Jerry, like you said, I know realtors appreciate it if their buyers have already met with the lender. It's kind of nice when customers do, or borrowers do. And then, so if you have first-time home buyers, they've never been through this before. That's the thing with like meeting with me, is that they're not obligated. They can come talk to me, and we can pull their credit. We can look at some things and see where they are. Do they have enough money for their down, or where are they? If they can do it now, great. If not, here's some things we can do. And also, what's nice about our credit reports is when we pull the credit report, it'll show your 3 different scores, but off to the left, it'll show, hey, here's some score improvements. Here's what you can do if you're like 10 points shy of the 620 we need or something. It tells you what to do, and I give you that PDF of that document. You can take 30 days and get your stuff fixed up, and come back and see me again and get you back in line. Because if you're pre-qualified and then pre-approved, there is a difference of the two. Once you're pre-approved.
Because
okay, so
that's confusing for people.
All right, pre-qualified is I meet with a customer and we chat. What do you think your credit score is? Oh, I think it's 740. Okay, how much do you make? Oh, I make this, and they've complete application, and we put it together. But then it's kind of like you're going off of their verbal, what they're telling you, So, okay, when I look at in our discussion, if they're telling the truth in the discussion, I can say, yeah, it looks like you guys can do it. You're pre-qualified, for a loan for $350,000. Now, pre-approval is you give me your pay stubs, bank statement, W-2s, tax returns. We pull your credit. I analyze it. I analyze all of that. Then I run it through our automated underwriting system. And if I get an approve eligible or an accept eligible on those, then you're pre-approved. Some lenders, though, they think pre-approval is like going all the way through underwriting, but pretty much right then and there, with my company, you're pre-approved because I've scrubbed that file and made sure, that way that letter seems to be a little more stronger. That the listing agent will know, okay, they've met with a lender, they've looked at their credit, they've looked at their income and assets, they're good people, they're good to go. I feel comfortable with this offer and this pre-approval letter. So
right.
that is kind of the difference.
In you doing that is any problems that might come up are usually found pretty quickly in that process. So it's not a hiccup as much. It's not hiccup free, but there's when you scrub a file and you get through that, it just makes that process and your buying power so much stronger.
Well, that's the thing, you got to think about it. So there's 3 people or 3 sets of things that are banking on this loan closing. First of all, the buyers, they want the house, they want it to close so they can have their new house to move in. But then you've also got the buyer's agent and the listing agent who are both banking on this loan to close too, and the mortgage guy. So my thing is, I want the loan to work. So I want to make sure. So I tell the people when I meet them, like, hey, let's have a come to Jesus talk right now. If you had a bankruptcy, foreclosure, short sale, something's wrong, tell me about it now, because I don't want to get 2 weeks into this and have something pop up. So, but case in point, I was working on a refinance recently, and during going underwriting, then I'm walking down my street at the house that I'm helping the people with, brand new car in the driveway. I'm like, oh no. So I called the borrower. Yeah, we just bought a brand new car. I'm like, you realize that's going to cause a snag? And he said, well, you already ran my credit, so I figured it didn't matter. I said, no, we run the credits. We run the credit several times for the process. Well, anyway, so that's my do's and don'ts are: don't buy a car, don't do anything while you're going through the mortgage process. Just freeze until you get your keys. So anyway, I think we
freeze until you get your keys. Okay, so
yep.
go back and Ronify this question a little bit.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, that person did the refi, they bought the car, which, to be honest, like there's great deals on cars right now.
That's why they did it. There was a 0% for 84-month
I
thing.
know. That's my other, okay, so I'm a car person too, and I love having a new car. So I'm looking all the time, but I've been very well behaved. So, okay, we have all that process. Now, what comes up, like, let's say somebody's in the middle of a process and they're working from home, or maybe their hours change or whatever change in between. Is there anything you can do to help them, or how does that process look?
Well, I know for us, our lenders, we're looking at, they're doing a lot of verification of employment inquiries quite a bit all the way through. So because we also send written ones off to the lender. So we just make sure that the employer's bosses and things like their HR departments make sure they are stating correctly what's going on with the customer, because we don't want to find out that they lost their job during the middle of this or their hours were cut or something. So it's always best for the customer to be kind of honest about, what's going on with their job, to make sure, because we don't want any snags later on during the loan process. Because right now with the COVID thing going on, the lenders are being a little more scrutinizing throughout the process. They call frequently throughout the loan process to make sure their customers are still working and asking for updated paycheck stubs and things like that, just to make sure, because the lenders don't want. And also new overlay, we have to make sure, one of our lenders is requiring the borrowers to sign, I think it's kind of ridiculous, but to sign a letter saying that after your loan closes on this new house, you're not going to go seek a forbearance. So they have to sign that. Yeah, one of our lenders are doing it, but not all of them. So we just wanted to put that word out there that, well, buy your new house, then now you're going to go on a forbearance and not make payments for 3 months.
Sorry about that. That actually came up in a different kind of situation, nothing to do with mine, but it was like, that's what was gumming up this process for another person, was that lender, it was a bank, I'm guessing, kind of thing, where and it's not here, it's somewhere else, but this is just what I heard. So none of this is here, none of this is the people we know, none of that. But that the refis were doing that. They were starting to do that, ask for the forbearance, and that gummed up the system too. So it might take a little bit longer to close, but for the most part, everything is system go. I know title company, they have their own set of rules for how they can come in and sign. I can't go to signings anymore, which breaks my heart, because I go to all mine. You come with me, and so that kind of broke my heart. But it's still
business as usual, though. That's the cool part, is it's still normal title to our closing, and then our stuff's still normal. I mean, so that's why I want people to be happy about that. Want to buy a house, it's still good. You can still do it. Rates are good, and we're just being safe on wearing masks and hand sanitizer and things like that. But home sales are still happening, and this house is beautiful. I mean, it can still happen. I mean, it's still going on, so nothing to be worried about.
The other part of that, I did a virtual tour yesterday. Just yesterday, I had one in Hillsborough, and so that's always an option if you're out there and you're kind of saying, I kind of want to step my toe in the pool of, buying right now, but I kind of want to, I want to honor not going out and all of that. I'm not essential or whatever. Just call us and I will take you through, and we will do an in-depth walkthrough. And it's pretty much like being there. Actually, to be honest, what was cool about yesterday is when I did the video tour through with the person is there's any type of platform. So we actually Skyped. And I haven't Skyped in a long time, but I do a lot of Zoom. I do a ton of Facebook Messenger. I do a ton of FaceTime. I do all that kind of stuff. But what was really cool is because, they were there with their child at home, and they were able to see things that they didn't see in the pictures, right? So when we do pictures, we want to make the house look gorgeous, right? And beautiful. But sometimes it's really hard to see a depth. Can't see, like, oh my gosh, I don't think my bed's going to fit in there. And what was awesome is because I was walking around, they could see the flow of the house. And they were like, oh, that doesn't really work for us. And they were apologetic. And I'm like, well, don't be apologetic. Like, it's good to know what doesn't work so you can move on to find something that does. So,
Yeah.
but I've been doing the video ones forever. And, but people are very curious right now. They really want to know what's going on. So question for you, Robert, because, you know, your crystal ball, shine it up, get it ready. So is there a crash going to happen? Because I get that all the time. I'm going to wait because there's going to be a crash. There's going to be a big crash and I can buy all these properties and they're going to just drop in price.
It's funny you bring that up because my broker I work for, we talk every day, and we were kind of going over that because we get asked that question.
I get
And
asked every
his theory, his theory was, he said, and this is kind of funny. This is his theory, what he said, but he goes, there were, for these folks that end up going on unemployment, they're unemployed for these certain group of people. Their unemployment checks are more than what their pay probably was when they were working. So he said, but his overall point was, is that people getting this unemployment, those that are able to get it, they're still paying their bills. Right. So they're not having the, you know, they're still paying the bills, where when we had the 2008 problem, people weren't paying the bills. And so that, because they couldn't, so the homes went into foreclosure or short sale or problems. So this one, they're still doing it. So what his opinion was, he felt that Portland area still has a pretty tight housing market. So he feels that whenever, with this part, they're still paying the bills, and then they get back to work, then they're going to have these people out seeking out, jumping on wanting to get homes again. So his opinion was, he felt the house prices were actually going to be going up, that we're not going to see a crash. And so, because I think we learned our lessons back in 2008, and nobody wants that again. So that's why all these government things are happening, and lenders are doing stuff, and all these different things. They don't want that to happen again. So that's why they're doing the stimulus things, and the rates are down back low again. They're trying to keep it moving. So his opinion was that the house prices, we are not going to have a crash. Actually the home prices are going to go up. So that's it.
With that, to be honest, 100%. That's exactly what I tell people. I said, the minute you are kind of more opened up and you can go back to work, people are going to realize, A, they hated where they lived. B, they were renting and their landlord, when they were scared, weren't very nice to them. And they're realizing, I could buy a house for the same price.
Now with these rates down, the low threes and stuff, yeah, you can get a home. In fact, I've got, for another time I can show you, but a Fidelity Title gave me a neat little tool that it is pretty much, you know, the cost of waiting to buy. If you're a renter, the cost of waiting to buy, and it's a great sheet, and it shows you the more you're waiting, throwing this rent down $2,000 a month on this house, yet you're buying one. It shows how many years it takes you, you're waiting, how much it's costing you. It's a really neat tool. So I want to be able to do some of that for you as well, and other realtors, to show them that, hey, get these for the customers, to let them know that the waiting to buy. I went through this when I lived in Arizona too. Everybody, I want to wait. And then they waited and they missed their train.
Or it gets expensive, like you said. Well, and this is like, okay, springtime in Oregon, that's typically when people love to, you know, go look at houses. It's, although my best years ever have been December, so just keep that in mind.
You've been funny with that. You slam a bunch of houses out in December. I'm like, how does she do that? But you have your method, and it works. I've experienced it with you for 5 years. I know.
So, but typically this is the time where I call it game on, right? It's springtime. People want, okay, I live out in the country, so they want country property generally, or they want to just move up in house, you know. And now that we have everyone at home, you're kind of seeing how small your house is, or what the layout doesn't work, because you're there 24 hours now, right? Or you've been there over a long period of time. So you're seeing what the things are that didn't work for you. Like the flow wasn't right or whatever. And so it's typically springtime is that game on period. And I've actually realized you can buy a house anytime in Oregon because it's great timing. But that's exactly what I tell people is, like, once this is on, if we're opened up, like, let's say we go to the July number, whatever, that's midsummer. That's still game on for the school year because people want to switch schools. Now, the beautiful thing, I mean, kind of, is that everybody's kind of watching what schools are doing during this time. And so they can say, oh my gosh, I really love being, all of her friends were really here at this other school district, or wow, I'm just so impressed with how this other school district handled situations or whatever during this virus, that I kind of want to live there. And people generally want to move to where it's the most easiest for their commutes and like their kids and their schools. And so it's very interesting because that's the game on period, right? You want to be back quarantined in place. You want to be back in place before the end of August. So like when September comes, you're ready to go to school. So this is like the height of that, the beginning of that height of that period of time. So it's like you said, the prices aren't going to go down. They're just going to keep going up incrementally as that inventory shrinks. So perfect example. I had a listing come up in Hillsboro. It wasn't on the market, 24 hours. And it went well above asking. So I've heard of ones recently. I wasn't involved in it, but I've just heard that there's still like the bidding wars, like 7 offers on a house, 9 offers on a house. And, people are amazed. They're like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, it's still happening. That's why,
well, I think that's why the one particular listing you had, I think why those also go quick. Coming from Arizona myself, we've always had single level homes, ranch homes. We never had a 2-story. And you came into Oregon and everything, the newer houses, everything newer is everything's a 2-story. Well, you've got the young family with the babies, or you've got the elderly folks that do not want to have to deal with stairs, that these single level homes are always in high demand. I mean, personal experience, my wife and I searched forever. And what did we end up doing? We had to get a 2-story. There were no single levels. They were hard to find. So I know it's in Hillsboro, especially this house you had, Jackson Schools, single level, corner lot, blah, blah, blah. We knew it would fetch the price and get it because it's a desired home.
Right.
And so that's it's still going on. I mean, there's people that want a particular house in a particular area, like you mentioned, and they will go.
They will go.
So, yep.
Whatever it takes to get it. So the other thing I want to talk about really quick is the selling side, right?
Yes.
This time period. And you help with that. Like you can make that happen. What are some loans or some tactics that we can use if someone they want to buy, but they want to sell? What are some things that you can do to help them so that we can make that happen? We do it all the time.
Okay. Well, there's a couple of things. What I was thinking of now. So what I've noticed with some of my customers I've talked to is they want to buy the new house or the upgraded house or whatever sell their old one, and they're running into the problems. I mean, I've been talking to folks in Arizona as well, that the buyers, they don't want a contingent offer. They don't want you to just sell your other house to buy theirs. They want you to just come right in. Well, a lot of people, that was always been kind of real estate 101, is that you have your house, you live in it 5-10 years, you make all this equity, you sell it, use the equity to get into your new house. You have to sell your house to buy the next one. And it makes it hard. Well, ways around that are you can go in with not doing a contingency. You can go pull out a home equity line of credit out of your current home, use that to be the down payment on the new house. Then once your home sells, you pay off that first and home equity line. You're in your new place. That way you can go in with all the money already in your bank from your home equity line. There's your down payment. You don't have to worry about a contingent offer. That's how that's kind of worked around too. Part 2, we run into some situations where the pricier homes, the ones over $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 stuff. Well, the jumbo loans are on suspension right now. So if these folks that want to buy the $1.2 million house or whatever, what they're having to do now is get a 510-400 first mortgage, and then a home equity line or second mortgage for the rest. You put 5 or 10% down, and finance the rest. That's how we're kind of getting around the jumbo loans. And so there are ways for people out there they can get in the house. There's ways that, speaking with a lender, we can show them there's our patterns and ways to be able to get the house you want with lending.
Well, and it comes up. I've done that where I've had, actually, to be honest, it was 4 houses in a row.
Oh, simultaneous.
Yep, all 4. It was awesome. We did it. I've done that multiple times. I'm kind of a contingent ninja.
Yeah.
Make things happen, right? So
those are stressful.
I'm sorry?
So those are stressful. You have to wait for that first domino to fall to get the rest, but they work though. If you do it right, if everybody's all doing the right things, then it will happen. No, I hope I didn't lose you. There you are. I hope I didn't lose you again.
Where am I? There I am. I got a phone call and it came off. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, contingent offers can work really well if there's if it's all lines up perfectly and everything is in line. And I can tell by looking at it if it's going to work or not. So, yeah.
Well, I know you can tell now just in current things we're working on is that it's been a particular house for sale and multiple people want it. And I said, you've had a couple bit more things happening right now. So it is kind of a different market. It's still, the rates are low and things are looking good. So I still recommend it's still a good time to buy. It really is. And the rates are really good. And speaking with a lender, getting yourself pre-qualified and or pre-approved, which is better, then it makes the loan process more simple and helps you get into the house you want. Come back again. I don't know why her phone.
I disappear every once in a while. Well, you know what? It's actually kind of pretty outside.
Yeah, let's take a look at that house again.
It's not pouring, so let's go outside and check out this. Okay, so this yard is phenomenal. There is fire pit, covered patio, the shop. So we're gonna go look at those.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in seeing. You know, a lot of there's people out there that want to have if you can get a cool historic house that's up to date with a shop on a huge lot in Forest Grove near downtown, this is like the house. I mean, I'm anxious to see this outside.
Okay. Changing it over and okay, it's raining. But we're covered under here. I have a covered patio.
Oh, that's funny. I'm a mile away from this house, so there's not a drop of rain there at my house. Yeah, we're a mile away from each other.
Welcome to Oregon. Yeah, so it's gated because, like I said, they have little dogs. So
dogs.
Everywhere is gated. It's very dog friendly. We got a fire pit. It's a huge covered patio space too. So, you know, I'm gonna go out in the rain. I'm good. I'm fine.
It won't hurt your hair. I was kidding.
Not sugar. Look at this yard, how big it is. Another gate here if you need to gate in little critters. But look at how big a space this is. This is a gorgeous size, so you can see this side of the house.
Man, cool that is cool.
Isn't that cool? And then we're gonna go over, see if I can figure out how to get out.
Okay, I was wondering where the garage and stuff was.
Yeah, it's right here. And so, like, here's the way in. That's the little path. And then, it's kind of, they don't have garage doors on there, so they just have it open.
Well, it's all right. It's covered though.
Nice. Oh, it's covered, yeah.
Yeah, that's
all the way through.
It's got a little shop in the back. I like that.
Oh, it's got a lot of shop. So in more shop.
Oh, nice. A workshop area.
Oops, let's get
more workshop area.
Yeah, more workshop area. All electricity all the way through. The floors are cement.
Cool.
Just, yeah, more space.
Man, they didn't mess around with.
No. No, they got lots of space. And then this, I think this is a space. Yes.
The little room?
So this
yeah.
would be this is their workout space, but it's got electricity, it's got AC, it's actually got heat.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
Like if you wanted to convert this and make this an offline kind of space for if you want to make this like an office space, perfect for that.
Or like a little studio or something?
Oh yeah, it actually, to be honest, I think it was a studio before, like a recording studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they had it with all that.
No, sorry.
Soundproofing in it for recording.
Man.
Oops. Sorry.
That's cool.
Isn't it?
A man can have his little, or woman can have their own little escape place.
It's like an art studio you could have in there.
Yeah.
Or you're gardening. If you're a gardener, there's so much space to do gardening that. Yeah, it's a 2-car garage. You can fit another car in here.
I like a little screen thing on there. That's cool.
Yeah.
I always want to know where where the people park their cars. Now I know.
Yeah. Yeah, a gate. Keep everybody out, like all the little animals.
I mean, the cool part I think my favorite part I like about this whole house is actually its location. I mean, it's right in a historic district. It's right close to everything in Forest Grove. You could walk from that house and walk to the farmer's market. In August, they always have the Uncorked with all the wineries that set up all the tents. And I'm a member of I'm on the chamber board, and with the Forest Grove Chamber, they'll have the corn roast, the steak feeds, and then the No Rotary puts together the Concord Elegance car shows every year. I know this year's been a little different with the COVID stuff, but the town does a lot of events throughout the year.
Oh, they do. They have the corn roast.
Yeah, the corn roast, and they do a lot of stuff in town. I know this COVID thing has kind of thrown things off a little bit, but every year I've lived here in Forest Grove, I'm going on 5 years now. I look forward to the corn roast and the steak feed. And my favorite, of course, is the Concord Elegance. This thing's like Pebble Creek level car show in Forest Grove, Oregon, right there on the campus of Pacific University. I love it. In fact, last year I went and I saw the corner of my eye. I tried to get a picture, but Lisa Kudrow was there from Friends, walking around looking at cars. And so people come from all around to come to this car show. And so that Forest Grove, I'm seeing as a town, it's neat.
The drummer from Kiss went to Pacific.
Oh, really?
So he's super.
That's cool.
Is it Paul Stanley? Is super, super, super involved with their music department. He does a huge golf tournament here every year for that, to fundraise for that. So, and if I had it wrong, I'm sorry. I apologize. But I
was going to do a quick
music, so that's his passion, and it's just a great place. It's magical in a way. It's just got you got farms, but then you're also kind of close to things. It's close to get to Portland. It's not that hard. Hillsboro's down the street.
I wonder which Kiss drummer it was, because they have Peter Criss, Eric Carr, Eric Singer. They have a bunch of different ones, so I'm curious to figure out which guy it was. But that's cool. They went to Pacific, run their own little town.
And also they're probably like, "Do you not know anything about this?" Sorry, I don't. But
Peter Criss, that's who it was. Lee Gokenauer said it was Peter Criss.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I know, one of them. But anyway, yeah. So they very involved, and people stay around. And actually, what I do love about Forest Grove is the fact that because it has a college in it, there's so much culture and different people from all over the world that go to school here.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's a very inclusive, cultural, rich, small town, really. I mean, it's not a large town, small town. My daughter was actually, they did I can't remember what show she was on, but she.
Oh, it was the Librarians.
Yes.
Wasn't she an extra on the Librarians?
She was.
They filmed it right there at the school. I remember you told me that.
Yep. And so she's like, oh my gosh, please don't tell people that. But anyway, we had a great time. And then the iconic places to go, of course, is Scotty's.
Yes.
I remember, oh my gosh, I took swimming lessons at the pool in Forest Grove.
At the aquatic center?
Mm-hmm. And every summer, never learned to swim. But anyway, never learned to swim well, let's just say that. But every time afterwards, my mom would take me to Scotty's to get a little dipped cone. So I still, whenever I think of summer days, I think of Scotty's. And so my husband and I sometimes would take the motorcycle out and we'll go to Scotty's and have an ice cream. So
they're generous with the cones too. I mean, I noticed that place has been there since 1956.
Yep.
And it's still going. In fact, my wife and I, we just hadn't been there in a while. Went there the other day and got some bacon cheeseburgers and stuff. And you just, now with the COVID stuff, you just call on the phone and then you just drive on down there and they call your name and you just walk up and they do it very well there. They have it all system down and they have the cones. They have these giant cones you can get and they're really good. So I like Scotty's. It makes me think of the 50s. It's the late 1950s kind of old school drive-in. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Exactly. And every time I go, every single time I've gone, I've run into people I know that I haven't seen for years. And so it's kind of like, I call it high school reunion, right? You go back and you run into people that you haven't seen for a long time. And so it's fun. It's a great town. This is a beautiful, gorgeous home. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, as is Robert. Yeah. And then if you have anything, let us know. Happy to help.
Well, Darcy, didn't you want to mention, you told me the other day, because you and I were having a conversation about historic homes like this, and this same house, if in Portland, would be $300,000 or $400,000 more. I mean,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Probably, 7 to 8, easy. This is listed. I should probably say like what it. Yeah. People are like, what are you talking about? So it's listed right now at $560. And it's a double lot. So this lot is actually almost a half acre.
So it's a good sized lot.
Inside in a town. So large lot, beautiful shrubbery. The landscaping's mature. And so you don't have to redo anything. Pretty much just, come in and if you want to have a garden, it's easy to do. Very easy to do that here. Let me go get my stats so that I know I'm saying the exact right answer on how much everything is.
What I think is going to be nice for potential buyers too is that even though this is a 1900 built house, it's been so updated accordingly with everything that they don't. It's turnkey pretty much. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to remodel something or fix something. You can move right in it. It's ready to go, and it's nicely taken care of.
Oh my gosh, very taken care of. It's gorgeous on the inside. Like you said, everything's updated. So the electricity, all of that. I was gonna flip this around because I don't think you could see it. This fireplace is actually a corner fireplace. So very trendy for back in the day. Look at the woodwork design. How thick and gorgeous that is.
That's one thing I like about these historic homes too, is you can tell, even in Arizona, we had historic districts in Phoenix there, and Canto, Palm, all these different ones, and Willow District. Those homes always sold all the time because there are people that love that style workmanship. And the nice part is the neighborhood, especially where this house is there's no two houses the same. It's not cookie cutter at all. It's all custom built in the 1900s, beautifully done, handcrafted work. I think people appreciate that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Every house, like you said, I love that. It's not cookie cutter. You're not in a development. You're in an original, I guess, development, but you're not in a development. This house is actually, it's 4 bedrooms. 2 full baths, 2,476 square feet. So like
it's a good sized house for 1900 age.
Well,
you know,
about it back then, like their bedrooms were super tiny too. And that having a bedroom downstairs and having another master upstairs and other bedrooms is really unheard of for that time period. It was actually built in 1900.
Man.
Yeah. So
when Forest Grove is barely getting going. I mean, when's this town built? When does town get settled? Like 1865 or something? I mean, there's probably that house was built when the trolley ran through town.
Exactly. I mean, it's 120 years old, right? So, oh my gosh. 2 stories, obviously, and then it's got gas, and a 2-car garage that we've shown before. We're getting the video right now. This is the video for the house. And I think it's the drone work, and some of the drone work in there, you can see the town and so forth. But it's just such a gorgeous, gorgeous home.
It really is. It's one that someone really appreciates because it's not nothing against track built homes because that's all mine have ever been, but these I always seem to appreciate more because it's like a one-off. It's like there's not a whole street full of every third house is a Dutch colonial. I mean, these are all like somebody designed it, built it in 1900, and then it was whenever it was restored, probably maybe a few years before the current buyers bought it, but it's really nice. It's a cool house. I mean, I just have so many great things to say about it because it's has character. And it's close to downtown and everything, Its location is awesome.
Well, it's funny too because it was actually a Nicholson Deak home. So that's who the architect was that developed this house. And so you can do some research. I mean, it's a home with a history, and I love that. I'm an antique buff. I love all of the history and the old charm. The charm that oh my gosh. The one that's got a snaggle tooth, he's super cute. Like I'm like, I want your dog. So it just has a lot of charming, and like you said, the craftsmanship. So it's so funny. When this is done, I'll flip it around because the just the workmanship on the wood, you can tell it was handmade, all of it. And it's just so well done that you can't even, I don't know what it would cost to get a house built like this. And with that kind of quality, it would be, it's $1 million house to have it reconstructed to that level.
I know some of the rooms have that really nice wainscoting on it, other with the shiplap, the wood, the claw tub.
The claw tub. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I bet those doors are solid doors. You know what I mean? Like the new house is like in my own house, I have that same style door, but it's hollow core. It's, if you punched your fist through to go right through it, that's a solid wood door. They just don't do that anymore.
Well, it's for being an older home, and you would think, oh, they don't have that much, it's very warm.
Oh, we're talking about insulation wise. Yeah.
Insulation wise, it's very warm, but also it's very quiet. Like, because, it's a historic home, you can't just put in anything. It has to be very specific to the time period. So like to redo windows and stuff, it's not like you just take those out and put in vinyl windows. Like you don't do that. So, but it is silent in here. It's so quiet. And so I had to go outside to actually tell if it was raining because I could hear it, which in other houses I can hear it, but, or when people come up, but also when we're done with the video, I wanted to go back and show the details, like just to see them in real life.
Yes.
So worth the visit. and to appreciate the craftsmanship, like you said. So I'm going to flip it around because there's some stuff I want everybody to see that's just really cool. Like I said, this mantle is just, I can't even, it's so massively gorgeous. And then look at their, yeah, you don't get that at Home Depot. That was
no, that's the original hardwood, isn't it?
Yes.
Wow.
It's just, and the door frames are like that too. And it, you know, obviously video doesn't give it justice because it's very wide. And then also,
well, I saw a floor register, so it must have, which is nice. It has central central forced air heat.
Oh yeah, yeah. But
Good, because that's so much more energy efficient over baseboard or electric heat. So very nice.
Like that. Just small details on how they did things.
You know that wood's got to be original.
Oh yeah, look at, and how thick it is. You can see it on the stairs. And the shiplap and all that.
Yeah.
And we got our gloves and our wipes.
Yep.
Yeah, right. But this look, I mean, it's just a gorgeous, oh, I didn't even notice that. So can you see that?
Support beam and everything's really nice in the wood.
Yeah. How that was made. Some of those fixtures even are original. Or to the period, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
Any other like last tips and tricks for buying right now?
My number one thing is just get your financing in place. Get pre-approved first. Just have it ready to go. That way, you know, you're good to go. Everybody's good to go, and no one's time is wasted. It's almost like having a check in your hand, and just make sure you're straight with everything with your lender, that you're honest, and you know, if you have any issues, let the lender figure it out now instead of 3 weeks down the road, because we're here to help buyers get ready to go. And so if you have all your ducks in a row and your homework's done and you're pre-approved, then get into the home should be just fine. And we're closing things in 30 days still, so it's the timing isn't
nice.
Yeah, we got several of our lenders, they were longer, 45, 60, but now they've all kind of come back. They've gotten caught up with the refis, they're getting back together. So I can honestly quote 30-day closings. They always consider purchases first, refis second. So that's nice. They want to make sure people have somewhere to live.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was going to say in the laundry room here, it's on the main floor, which is nice, but it's got a tub or a sink in it.
Utility sink.
Yeah, utility sink. And so, yeah. Oh, I forgot. More storage in here. They have the stackable washer dryer, which is super, it takes away, it doesn't take up so much room. So that's why they have all the, you know, cabinetry. This is that room again. I just want everybody to see it. One more last time.
You have everybody over in a big entertainment space. You know, looks like they have the toys there for the grandkids to come over and play. Huge yard to play in. It's a perfect house to have a family gathering.
And those are built-in. That they had built in.
That's nice. You don't see that anymore.
No, and they're gorgeous. They're thick. So it's not like a thin little, you know.
Man.
Yeah.
It's a really cool house. I really like it. I really do.
Me too. Yeah. It's just, oh, look at the sunshine out that window. It's just bright. That's what you see out your kitchen when you're washing your dishes. Is this beautiful?
You can see the people out there at the fire pit if they're hanging out.
Yeah.
It's nice little breakfast nook.
Right. And then you have that space if you want to have everybody over. You have that ready for them. Guest room on the main or whatever. Kids back from school. I just love this entry. It's really large. I love the stairs. They're you know what? They're compact, but they have a lot of room, and they're just so sturdy. Like they don't make.
Yeah, you don't hear them squeaking. You don't hear them squeaking.
No,
you notice that? Yeah, they don't when you go up the stairs. That's cool. That's well built.
That gorgeous, super cute room. And then this room is huge. I mean, I think that's a queen size bed, or a double. No, I think
it's probably a queen.
Yeah, so plenty of room. You can have it's got enough room for
Take out your aggression boxing bag. And these little cupboards, are those like little linen closets and stuff with the vent?
Yeah, they're just little closets here and there. And actually, this one goes pretty deep underneath, so you can do whatever. That room had a closet in it. This little nook area, you could almost, if you want to, make this into like a walk-in closet.
Yeah.
Somehow, this bathroom just is so phenomenal. It's so cool.
That's some intricate tile work there that was done.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Isn't it? Pan down to the floor for a second. One of the bathrooms had a really cool floor pattern. Yeah, this one. Okay, I was just trying to remember. I'm seeing that. God, those hand-laid tiles in there.
They're gorgeous.
Wow. Yeah.
Right before they bought it, so they bought it like this, but it was done right before.
Yeah, it's nice.
Isn't
and it's got that wainscoting in the back there above the sinks. Well done.
Well,
I like that kind of stuff.
All throughout the house, all the doorways are exactly the same. Like they don't have, 100 different styles.
Oh yeah, tall and short and wide. And, they're all the same size.
They're all the same size here where I messed up.
JD, yeah, that's funny.
But I just love that covered patio. You could go out in the rain, barbecue, all that, and just have a really great time. It's a wonderful house for entertaining. Like there's plenty of parking for all your friends to come over.
That's true. They can all line up in the driveway.
Right? Yeah, you don't have to worry about the parking situation. Every time I've ever come by, there's always parking. It's literally, so safety-wise, it's literally down the street from the police station. So literally, I don't know, quarter mile, if that.
If that, yeah, you can walk to it. Yeah, it's like a block and a half.
Yeah, so it's safe, right?
That's what I'm saying. The place is really, and it's really close to downtown. If you want to go to, say, Uncorked happening in August, and you wear your wristband and you sample everything that all the wineries have, you can just walk back home. Don't worry about driving. I mean, we've walked back before. My house is probably 1.5 miles away from the downtown, and all neighbors were dropped off, and then we all walked home. But we did stop off at Ridge Walker after that. So enjoy things in town, right in town.
You can walk to anywhere. There's parks around here. There's a lot of green space. So
there's a nice dog park too. Remember the dog park?
Down the street from you. And what I like about it too, that's really kind of cool. Now, right? But everybody's plants are in bloom. So it's just, you look down the street, drive down the street, and it's just gorgeous.
Daffodils and tulips and things just blooming, lilies,
everything. So it's a really nice area, and everyone just, it's a great small town feel.
Yeah, Forest Grove is a cute little town, cute little college town. I mean, I'll confess, when we moved here from Arizona, we lived in Hillsboro first, and we were going to head out to Forest Grove. And we thought, oh, it's clear out there in Forest Grove. Well, now that we've lived out here, it's not that bad. I mean, my wife gets to work in 15, 20 minutes. I'm more closer to 30 because I'm a little farther out. But and you take country roads, it's not a bad commute at all. And if you need to hit bigger things, like you have the Costco and Target and stuff like that, Hillsboro is just a stone's throw away. But everything else you can do right here in Forest Grove. I mean, I like it just because it's quiet and the views. I mean, the wineries all around us. I mean, it's wonderful. It's beautiful, pretty. It looks like a postcard.
It does. It does. Well, I just want to thank you so much for being with me today, Robert, and
Yeah.
sharing this time with everyone and your expertise. And like I said, if you have any questions at all about the home buying process or selling process, I'm happy to help you, but also give Robert a call and have him help you as well.
Yeah, because we can have a conversation. I'm not a hard sell kind of guy. We'll see where you are. If we can help you get a place, great. I'm here to help.
Yep, you're an educator. So
Yes.
that's what I partner with great people. And I mean, I have lots of partners, but Robert is an educator. He will make you will understand exactly what you're signing, which is important because that's not common. So I just love that about you. And I
Thanks,
thank you
Darcy.
for spending your time with us through this open house. And it's just
Yeah, it was fun. I liked it actually. I enjoyed it. We can keep doing these. I thought it was cool. It was well done.
Yeah. Whose house is next? Who wants to
I
have
know.
it posted at your house? We're happy to bring it to you. All right.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Robert.
Thanks a lot, Darcy. I had a lot of fun today. Thanks a lot.
All right.